Hey, what's going on, guys? It's John. I have the main account. Dennis is going to be coming on from the Unity Ventures account.
Got it. Hope all's going good, John. Hope you're having a good day.
Yeah, it's a pretty solid day. Can't complain.
Fantastic.
Can't
Happy to be
complain.
here.
Awesome. Yeah, he should be on shortly. And then we kind of had kind of a list of topics that we figured we'd cover. So probably give it like 3-4 more minutes, and then we'll kind of get moving.
Got it. Sounds good.
Loud and clear. We got you, Lars.
Awesome. Nice to see you again, my friend.
Yeah, it's good to see you. Good to see you.
How is everything going over at RYI Unity?
Things are going well. It's been a busy couple days, which has always been good. And then yeah, I mean, just we had a listing the other day, working with another centralized exchange, and then really just on the kind of the back end heavy, working with the developers and stuff, which is always good, because that always means you're kind of progressing in the right direction.
That's awesome to hear. Awesome to hear. Which exchange have you been listing on now?
We just listed on CoinIn, which is actually a newer exchange, but it's regulated and audited. I'd have to see if they're regulated out of Lithuania and another country. Um, it's pretty interesting. Was talking to the team for a bit, and it was was really cool to kind of see it, to kind of work with the exchange that is taking the kind of the regulation and building the confidence of people on the platform. I feel like that's kind of been an issue with a lot of like the larger centralized exchanges. Besides, like obviously, like a couple of the tier ones, is kind of having that like confidence with people on the platform, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the regulations and everything. It's some people look into it and some people prefer the non-regulated rights to avoid the KICs and everything. But it's definitely a very important point for us, especially as project owners, right? Because we have to deposit some tokens for the trading to be active. So we we have seen many issues through the development company with projects that goes on exchanges, and then the exchanges have access to all of these funds.
Yeah. Yeah, what a lot of people don't realize is, like, when a project decides to list on a exchange, there's, like, it's a large commitment that the project itself is putting itself at risk, because it's not just the tokens, the token equity, and usually it requires a good amount of token equity that you're just giving to the exchange in faith that they're going to take the ethical actions. And then there's the liquidity support if they need liquidity to enable trading and volume. And so that's it's always like, hey, you need to list, and it's like, yeah, we do need to list, but we need to make sure that it's on an exchange that we have confidence and faith in.
Exactly, exactly. Because just as it can benefit with a listing, then it can also hurt, and it can hurt a lot.
Yeah, and I've had a lot of partner projects that I've had, listed on tier twos, and just like had really, really, really like rough experiences with it. And they invested heavily into that, and it's like you really, really have to do your own risk mitigation before you do that.
For sure. This is also something that we are currently setting on, because we are soon about to list on more centralized exchanges, or on centralized exchanges, as we just completed our mainnet. And this is the biggest issue that we also see is exactly this trust issue, because if they basically go down, then it's definitely gonna hurt the project.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, you only have limited equity as far as the token value. And that's where it really lies in, because if you're giving 1-2% of your token equity, or a percent, even a percent of your token equity to this exchange, and they have issues and they shut down or whatever happens, you don't get that back. That 1% is essentially, you don't know where it's going anymore at that point, and it's gone. And that's a huge problem. So that's where really, like, the trust factor and doing your own research and hopefully having a good relationship with the exchange team, comes into play.
For sure, I couldn't agree. I couldn't agree more. And just as they could close the access to the supply, even worse, they could actually, especially the non-regulated, right? They could go in and basically dump the supply on the DeFi market, liquidity pools, right? Which would be even worse.
Yeah. Yeah, and with the DeFi platforms, it's ironic because a lot of the DeFi platforms have such many more ways to mitigate anything like that. And you think centralized exchanges would have kind of measures, features in place to really mitigate the safety aspect. It's the DeFi platforms really can't access much of any of the users' funds, which is really good, and that's kind of the benefit of the DeFi platform, um, because it's on a smart contract and we can't actually access any of the users' funds, which is good, and that's the way it should be. um, and it'd be nice to see some of the centralized exchanges have have those features as well, and I'm sure a couple of them do, but it's not common practice in the centralized market. One second, I think Dennis, there he is. All right, guys. So it looks like we're going to be kicking off here shortly. Dennis is kind of going to be moderating this. We have a couple topics we wanted to touch on. I think what we're going to do quickly is kind of go around, do some basic introductions, and then we're going to hit some topics, which I think every speaker on here, is going to have a lot to say as far as how their project relates to the topics. Um, I think Dennis is still connecting. Where he's at, they've had some internet issues.
Yeah, in general, on the whole continent.
Okay, there he is.
Yeah.
Let me try to get him again. Invite to speak. Well, why don't we just go ahead and start kicking it off? Let's just do like a couple minutes, maybe like 2 minutes or so, or 90 seconds, 2 minutes, just like a brief introduction, and then we'll kind of go around the horn, and then we'll cover kind of the topics that we kind of wanted to get into today. Lars, since you're here, why don't you just kick it off?
Sure, 90 seconds isn't
Yeah.
lot, but
Um,
let's try. So yeah, my name
Hello,
is Lars
guys.
Fabricius. I'm CEO and founder of Roburna Blockchain. We went on mainnet last week, or we did our mainnet migration. We finalized it, and we now have our trading live on the Roburna blockchain. Roburna blockchain is an innovative blockchain which focuses on green energy use to have a CO2 clean blockchain. And besides from that, then we have modified the way that holders on the blockchain or validators gets their profit. So we are sharing the validation rewards out towards all of the holders instead of limiting it to only a few validators on the network, like it's done on Ethereum and Binance and other networks. So basically, we are making an all-inclusive internet blockchain for holders to come in and interact on. Yeah, I think my 90 seconds run out already.
All right, Dennis, did you want
Hello,
to moderate from here? So
guys.
Lars just gave his
Yeah,
introduction, so we're just going around kind of the horn, doing like real brief introductions, so we can kind of get into the topics.
yeah. So, I'm really glad to be here. I've been facing serious network issues over some days now. Could hardly do anything. I've been trying to connect, but hopefully they fix it on time. So, I was supposed to host, but thank God for John, who has come in place of me. And I would like to get to know some new speakers in our midst. We have Vestinda. Vestinda, I don't know. Who's speaking for Vestinda, please?
Hey, it's me, Shiv. How's it
Okay.
going, Dennis?
And we also have yeah, I'm good, I'm good. And we also have Mineable. They were unable to really say anything last time we had the AMA, and they're here again. So who is representing Mineable, please?
Hi, hi, Ricky here from Mineable. I am the CEO of Mineable.
Wow. Wow, it's nice to have you here. Nice
Nice
to
to
have
be
you on
here.
board. All right. So while it started, I heard John and Lars going over their own, the catching up with each other. So I think vesting that it's your time. Give us a brief introduction about your project, what you guys do. 90 seconds, like John
Definitely,
has stated.
definitely. Would love to. Like Lars, I'll try to keep under 90 seconds. But first of all, thank you guys for having me here. Very briefly, Westenda is an all in one platform for traders, investors, whether you're a beginner, whether you're a professional trader. We have an all in one trading experience. We have everything from free packages to paid packages where you can access pretty much everything you need in your trading journey, starting with demo trading, building your own strategies through no code a no code environment, getting other people, other technical analyst strategies, and a lot of other cool features like that. And then we tie it all together into our live trading feature. The live trading feature essentially allows users to connect their Vestinda account with the exchange which they're trading on. And that's a really, really cool way for us to get access to make automating their profits, and that element of automation has done us quite well. And just to close out, the overall mission of what we're trying to do is democratize trading, and we're really excited to be here and excited to get into the questions and more about us.
All right. Nice to have you on board again. My neighbor, please. You have 90 seconds.
Okay, hi guys. Again, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, Mineable. It's a platform we created to mine our own cryptocurrency, Mineable. You do this by buying GPUs, certain levels 1 to 10. And there, as I say, the virtual mining machines through the platform, they mine our own native token Mineable, MNB. It's open. We've got a massive following on Discord. We've got we do tutorials. We're aiming for, we do tutorial videos on how to buy, how to sell, basically how to start using our application as a tutorial, a guide for everything. And what we want to do, we want to try and bring the world of crypto to users who usually are frightened to death of the term crypto. It's so easy. You can start mining our token for less than $10. They buy a starter GPU to see how the whole process works. And again, going back to before we started live, talking about listing. Last week we listed with Probit. So you guys who was talking about it earlier, the host and the other guy, I know a lot about it and a lot of experience, even within a week. Okay, cheers. Thank you.
All right. 90 seconds is over. We're still going to have more time to talk about our projects. So the next on board, Big Sales Incorporated. Yes. So who's speaking for Big Sales? Anyone speaking for Big Sales? So, alright, for those just joining us, I would give RY Unity, our host, a chance to introduce himself and let people know about the project hosting the AMA today. So, over to you, John.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Excited to get some of these pretty amazing projects on board and in this group. For RYI, I'm the founder of RYI. We've been building for the last couple of years. But essentially, what we do is we build a variety of DeFi applications. And we've built this kind of DApp ecosystem. And what we're doing right now, and we have the mobile app, we have a DEX. We have a lot of really neat features on the DEX. We have a pretty extensive wallet manager. We have uh, a cross-chain swap bridge, and just a ton of variety of features. And essentially, what we're doing is we're trying to provide a kind of one-stop shop for DeFi tools for blockchains. So blockchains are able to really focus on expanding their chain, and then basically we can onboard to reputable blockchains and provide all the DeFi tools that they need in order for their users to come on and use a lot of these services to basically help increase their ROI within their portfolio. So that's a central focus that we have. We're very heavy focus on user rewards. Even our tokens, RYU, and our governance token UV, it's completely built around user rewards, DeFi dividends, token burns, and all of our dApps support that as well. So that's a big focus for us and what we primarily stick to.
All right. So, if anybody wants to check out any of these projects more, you can go to their websites. Some are on Twitter, their Twitter pages. You can go and check and read more about these projects. So, let's go to the first question of the day. Mm, Try to get everything as quick as possible. Okay. I'll be asking Lars of Roburna first. Yeah, so Lars, what is your bull market preparation and what have you done lately? What has a project done lately that you like to catch us up with?
So we just went on mainnet trading the last week, and we already have announced a few partnerships coming up that have been closed and integrated. Obviously, we are partnered with RYI Unity, and we will soon see your integration on our mainnet as well. We have been lining up a lot of partnerships that's going to come. Some of the projects are in their early stages of funding, so they have not been presented to our community yet. But we have been having a very big focus over the past few months with interacting with projects that want to migrate their token or want to bridge their token into our network. So we have been working very hard on this. We are currently on our mainnet phase 2. We have 4 phases for our mainnet where we are integrating all of the protocols that's needed for for the network to fully interact. And then our plans is to bridge out from our own network and present the token on blockchains like Ethereum and also other blockchains which haven't been fully announced yet, which one of them we are going to be interacting on. So this has been our big focus at the current moment. Obviously, there's going to come a lot of marketing activities, especially around the partnerships that we're having when we come live with the bigger partnerships. A lot of these partnerships are multi-million-dollar fundraisers, very big utilities. We have a hard wallet that's soon going to come, which are fully integrated into the blockchain. So this is something that will come in the coming months. We have also been working on a lot of other things with merge and other things which we are trying to find that we can finally present it to our community. But our biggest focus has been on establishing very strong partnerships, just like we have with URI Unity, with projects that want to utilize our network. Because obviously for a blockchain, the most important is the use of the blockchain, right?
All right, nice one. So I have a question for Roburna. So as you guys just launched, is there any other project that's launched on your blockchain, and what's the trend? What's the trend going on your blockchain right now?
So I've seen a few tokens getting deployed already. This is not people that we have been in contact with, but I've seen there is a few liquidity pools that have been created. I know that next week we will have a project that's coming live, which we have been in close contact with, and they're just finalizing some last details and are gonna start to announce this. I think around the weekend. And then we had AMA the other day with the first gaming project that's going to come in and are currently integrating into our blockchain. So we have several projects that have announced and are in the stages to integrate. But exactly with live trading, as I say, I've seen 2 tokens was deployed. Exactly who deployed it, I am not sure, because again, this is a DeFi network, so everybody can deploy, right? But I saw a Dogecoin was deployed and a Pepe on Roburna. It's 2 tokens that have been deployed already, and they have set liquidity pools. But again, it's not people that we have actually been in contact with. So exactly what they are doing and how they are doing it, that I haven't been informed of.
All right, all right. Crypto space is actually wild. You don't get to know everyone that launches on your chain. But the most important thing is they have genuine plans for their project, and how to take their project and your blockchain to the next level. So, Vestinda, you're up next. What is your preparation for the bull market, and is there anything you'd like to catch the listeners up with?
Of course, great question. So, for us at Westenda, given that automation is at the heart of what we do, and majority of our trades are unleveraged, we're really focused on the overall market condition. Just to give a small statistic, even in bearish conditions, in circumstances where across most major centralized exchanges, traders lose like 80% of their capital, Westenda has given over 65% of profitable returns. So our algorithms are really developed to sustain and power through both positive and negative market circumstances, because we do purely unleveraged trades which are created with algorithms which are powered for both market circumstances. That being said, of course, for the bull market, we are very aware that there's going to be a lot of capital coming into this market. And given that we have a lot of new features that we've been developing, we've been integrating with a lot of new centralized exchanges. Like I mentioned, we're integrated with OKX, Binance, Poloniex, uh, and we have a lot of big exchanges coming up. We just integrated with Atani. We have some exciting announcements out soon. We do giveaway campaigns with these guys, onboarding as many users as we can. Our user base is across 40 plus countries. And alongside that, just a lot of robust features. Like I said, it's an all in one trading experience, everything from a backtesting engine to demo trading, to everything that it takes for the resource level. And then once the users are ready, they can even use our professional strategies developed by technical analysts, by KOLs, to actually just automate it. So we're trying to reduce the time spent and optimize the profits created without actually having the user to lose out.
Nice, nice, nice. So, Mineable, you're next on the list.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, very
So the
interesting.
latest on Mineable and all your plans for the bull
Yes,
market.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So we've been working towards the bull market. Obviously, it's been predicted for a while now. So we concentrated on our native coin Mineable. We have other things in the pipeline. I'm sure Lars has been looking over my shoulder and pinched my script, actually, because I agree with most of what he said. So what we decided to do, we'll get, let's look at listings, like I said. We need to be in a position where we can start listing the coin so the coin is tradable. So early days, as I say, we only got listed with Probit last week. And like everybody said earlier, it's a bit of a minefield. You expect a lot from it, and you soon learn that the amount of money you've invested into it, which is a lot of money, as you guys know, yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see. But we had to do it. We had to do it to move forward, and I'm sure we will reap the rewards from it. So we're implementing a lot of other things in the back end. We've got an in-house team. We don't outsource anything. We have developers. We have graphic designers. It's an in-house team that we have at Mineable. And we're implementing a lot of things. There's a lot of great ideas, but first and foremost, for this bull market, we need to get our Mineable token. We're focusing on that, and hopefully we'll reap the benefits for that.
All right, all right, all right. So, John, you're next. What's the latest on ROI Unity? Even though it's my project. So, what's the latest?
What's the latest? Yeah, the biggest focuses for us have been, I would say, two things: scalability, which come in the form of application we've been working on for the last couple months, and that's Unity Connect. We completed the back end, which was a huge milestone. I don't think I've actually even seen an application like Unity Connect on the market in general. What Unity Connect does basically is it allows any EVM compatible chain to connect to our applications. And what's really cool about it is any user, not just a project manager, user can go to our dApps and they can add, just like in MetaMask, you can add a blockchain, EVM compatible blockchain. You're going to be able to add an EVM compatible blockchain to our DEX on your own, and it's going to take a couple minutes. And so right now, with the biggest thing was the back end. Obviously, we're building that from scratch, and it's built. Right now, we're just working on the UI interface, so any user can go on and simply understand, just like in MetaMask, how to add their favorite EVM chains to Unity Ventures and the applications, and then MDAS as well. That's something we've been working on heavily to increase the user friendliness. That way, anybody can create their own staking suites, liquidity staking, NFT staking, token single staking, and then the other aspect of that is basically deploying that on all these EVM chains. Because when someone adds their EVM chain, it automatically adds the MDAS protocol, so that chain is going to be live. And then the other aspect that we've been focusing on heavily, and this relates more so to the bull market. So as money inflows, what we really focused on is for the bull market was our own token scarcity, and that's through burn mechanisms into all of our applications. It's kind of like blockchain fees. But when you use our applications, there's a small percentage that barely even noticeable tax, but that basically burns our native tokens. So that's scarcity. And then the DeFi dividends is something that we've really been focusing on. And how that kind of works is as you interact with our applications, even with the trading fees, kind of like a blockchain, you actually accrue a yield through interacting with our individual native tokens, RYU, and UV as well. And so the biggest thing, like I said, is we've been focusing on liquidity. Liquidity has increased by about 100% within the last 45, 60 days, which was a huge milestone. That's something we've been really focused on, is how do we increase liquidity, and we were able to do that. And then the other aspects, like I said, is the user rewards for interacting with applications, and then the scalability aspect, being able to basically be interoperable with all EVM compatible chains. Because I think that's something that really needs to happen for. We're not a blockchain, we're a DeFi tool. We're DeFi tool builders. We deploy on blockchains, and we provide blockchains DeFi services so they can basically focus on their chain and building out their own individual chain. And so that's really what we've been focusing on for this bull market. We've been doing this for about 6 months, I would say, as far as the primary focus, preparing for the market to expand. Because, like I think Mineable was talking about, we all knew this was going to head this direction. So I think that's where I'll close it off right there.
All right, that's great. Okay, so to the next one. There's one important factor users consider while investing on their different projects of choice, which is ROI, return of investment. So I would like each speaker to give us a free ride on how users can maximize their ROI through their projects. How, for me as a user, how am I going to maximize your project for my ROI, for my ROI? So we'll be starting with Vestinda since we started with last. We started with last the first question, so we'll be starting with Vestinda right now.
Definitely. Again, thank you so much for the question. It's a great question and very pertinent to these market circumstances, of course. So very briefly, like I said, our whole platform is developed and designed to cater to users regardless of the market circumstance. And when you take into account our past statistics, while, like I said, over 80% of traders lose money regardless of the market circumstance over like a span of a few years, most leveraged traders or unleveraged traders do lose money on most centralized exchanges. Our algorithms are consistently profitable, and given that fact, I think because we are so dedicated and committed to creating an end to end user experience, which is whether they just want to learn about different tools, whether they want to understand the market, whether they want to play around and build their own strategy, whether they want to try a free strategy published by a technical analyst for absolutely no cost to them, they can do all the aforementioned and just learn more. And even when they want to start, they can, by risking close to like minimum capital to start with, people can start with $1, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever is their comfort level, and then just like integrate Vestinda, connect Vestinda with their respective exchange. And by doing that, they have the ability to, over a long term, actually use the platform and see the benefits. So that being said, we're really excited for everything that there is to come, and we always have more and more events and features encouraging users to see how profitable these algos are and the true power of automation. So we're really excited. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks a lot. My neighbor, your turn
Yeah.
to answer.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, well, we are quite unique in this respect for ROI, return on investment, because the community, the customers, as we call them, obviously they buy a GPU, as I say, different levels, which generate different hash rates, starting from a starter, which you can buy, it's about $5, up to a level 10, which is about $160. Now, so return on investment. So you purchase a GPU, that GPU is yours for life. That's yours. You can sell it at any time on our P2P marketplace by any amount of mine. Again, it's our token, it mines our token, mineable. We are looking at integrating other tokens to mine in the near future, but at the moment we're concentrating on just mineable. So you purchase a GPU of whichever level you can afford. It instantly starts generating mineable. We're on stage 5 at the moment. We go up to stage 7. Stage 5, the block gets mined every 40 minutes. So it's on your phone, your phone's on, your phone's off. It works continuously 24 hours a day. So your mineable, it just keeps earning mineable. The more GPUs you buy, the more mineable you earn. With the mineable you earn, you can upgrade your current GPUs to get the efficiency up, the durability up, which again returns better hash rate. So, and I would just say the return on investment, for me, the way I look at it is one, you're buying an asset, a GPU, which is saleable at any time. Two, you're starting to mine our own currency, which, as I say, is listed on Probit. And I think the return on investment, if I had to give you a figure, I couldn't give you a direct percentage because it all depends on the hash rate of the GPU you're using or the GPUs. So the idea is your GPUs generate the mineable. With that mineable, you can buy more GPUs. So obviously, the more GPUs you have, the better return you get. And I think the return on investment will be very good in the long term. Now, the long term could be 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, 2 years. But that's how I see our return on investment to the potential purchasers.
All right, that's great. That's great. So, John of RYI Unity, you're next.
All right, so we're getting into a good topic. So return on investment. So I think it's really important to understand like where the kind of team stands on that as far as like priority, and trying to build towards that. Something that we did probably about like 4 or 5 months ago. We focused on how do we create a environment through all of our applications, and then right now what I'll do is I'll start off on just the baseline feature, which is I'm going to use the our native token RYU. So what we did was we basically were able to, because we have a flexible staking or flexible smart contract within RYU, so we're able to adjust the features based off DAO voting, and how the community wants the token to basically operate per transaction. And so what we did was we kind of mimicked. So when a company goes public, they have stock, obviously, and employees for the largest companies, they receive stock as a benefit for working for that company. But what they also receive is, and this is kind of the primary benefit and why people stay at these companies long term, is they receive dividend rewards from their stock holdings. So what we did is we kind of mimicked that. And so when people hold our native token RYU, for per every transaction, you actually receive a yield. So every time there's a transaction, there's a 2% or 2% tax on a sell. So that tax is that 2%. All the tokens that are within that 2% of the sell are distributed amongst all holders. There's
Right,
actually
all right.
RYU being Yeah, sorry. There's actually RYU being burnt as well, and additionally being added to liquidity. So we're basically really, really focused on this most simplest level on increasing the return on investment just for holding. So basically, you do nothing, and you're going to receive what's called frictionless yield directly to your wallet. So your token balance is going to increase per volume. And then you move to the volume aspect. Okay, how do we increase volume? Well, then you get into the scalability aspect, the expansion of your applications. And then we took this a step further. We're like, okay, we have the native token. We built a pretty solid model as far as DeFi dividends. Now, what we did was we're expanding our applications across the complete EVM network. Now, what we're doing is integrating this same principle, as far as the DeFi dividends, the burn mechanisms, the scarcity, the scalability, and now we're going to build it into all of our DeFi applications. Our wallet manager, DeFi Dash, Unity Ventures DeFi platform. We're going to be integrating these features into RYI Pay mobile wallet, which is on iOS and Android. So that's really been the focus that we've had. So whenever people interact with our applications, as I mentioned earlier, it kind of acts as a blockchain. When people interact with the blockchain, there's gas fees. Those gas fees are distributed back to the chain. So the project can use these fees to grow their blockchain. In the same aspect, what we do is with all of our DeFi tools, all these fees accrued from using our applications go back to increasing the value of your actual holding of RYU token. So that's been the biggest thing that we've focused on. We've been focusing on it for a while. And like I said, we started kind of at the ground up, meaning let's start with the native token and then let's move to our own applications. And then now what we're doing is working on the scalability aspect of expanding across the entire EVM network. DeFi Dash, if you guys haven't checked it out, you really need to check it out. It's a really, really, really cool application, and it's basically a wallet scanner. You don't have to go to BSC scan, Ethereum's, ETH scan, any of those anymore. You can just use DeFi Dash, and it tracks all the explorers and puts it into one basically mobile wallet. So you can see all of your multi-chain. I think it's on like 20 chains right now. So it's pretty cool. So that's what we've been focusing on, and yeah, we'll go from there.
All right, thank you, John. So, if I've heard correctly, for the ROI, for Vestinda, it's in the algorithm of their projects. Then for Mineable, the more GPU you buy, determine the more mineable tokens you earn, or you mine rather. Then for RYU, it's been implemented in the tokens, and just by holding, you earn. So now let's go to Roburna and hear from them. So Lars, you're up next.
Thank you for giving me back the mic. So yeah, what we have done on Roburna is we have made a revolutionary reward system inside of the chain. So as some of the others mentioned, gas fees is what provides or how you interact on a blockchain, right? And this gas fee goes to back towards the majority of the holders. There is a small minimum requirement, which is currently 10,000 tokens to go in and interact with the deep proof of earn, which will come in our stage 4 of the mainnet. And here we will basically distribute the majority of the gas fees back towards the holders. And this will provide them with a URI of the Roburna coin, as we are now a coin, right? And this will provide them a URI in terms of the token or the coin. And then besides that, obviously, URI is also the appreciation of the value of our token, which is a whole other subject we are working to appreciate. We have seen over a 20% gain of token value since we went live. So we have approximately gained 20% value over the last 6 days, 7 days since we went live on mainnet. And obviously, this is something that we will further work on appreciating the value of our assets. We also do have a staking, which came live. The staking, if you do stake, then you will not gain a URI from, or you will not gain the gas token benefit used on the token. So people here, they can go in and decide themselves if they want to have a fixed amount and then get the gas fee later when they unstake, or if they want to simply gain from the network and the activity. And this is what I spoke about earlier. Our main focus is to create more activity on the blockchain. The more transaction that happens on the blockchain, the more gas fees are paid inside of the blockchain, and the more rewards we are giving out to our holders. So this is our main focus, and this is how people that will earn URI on the Roburna network. As I said, it has a very low barrier to entrance, so you do only need to hold 10,000 tokens for or coins for you to go in and get these rewards.
All right, thank you. Thank you. So the last question, I actually missed this question. Should have been the first or second. So the last question before I hand over the mic to the speakers to say something before we end. Now we all know how important teams are in projects. Like who makes up your team and what kind of qualities do your team have. And we know a good team builds confidence among the holders of the project. So the question now is who makes up your team? How many people has access to your smart contracts? Yeah. So we'll be starting with Mineable for this question. How many team members do you have? How many of them have access to your smart contracts, and who comprises your team? So
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We have. This is a great question for us because, like everybody will say, we have got a great team. Access to the smart contract. There's 4 of us that have access to the smart contract. The team is made up of guys who bought into the project mainly when we was in testing mode, and we, the owners, we call ourselves the pioneers, kept a lookout. We had 40,000, we had 100,000 originally on the test net, and we just watched them in chat in Discord. We have a Discord chat group, and we just watched them, see who was learning fast. And we had a core team of only 4 of us at the beginning, and we just watched, monitored, and chose people, made them a cookie. Now we have levels 1 support to level 3, then we have pioneer team leaders, and it's great because it's a worldwide audience we have. So the team is built up of guys, 2 from America, 2 from Asia, 2 from Australia. We cover all time zones. You know, it's unique. We have quite a lot of, I think, 4 Europeans in the team. And it's great because when the Discord, when people are chatting on Discord and asking questions, our support is there. It's there for them 24 hours a day, which is quite unique, really. We usually answer them straight away, or at the most half an hour there'll be an answer for the community. So our team, it is unique, and within that team, we've been able to get people, as I said earlier, who graphic designers, developers, you name it, we've got it. We don't outsource anything. We do everything ourselves, and obviously that saves us a lot of money. And you find that because it's our team that's doing it, I don't want to criticize anybody that does outsourcing everything, and any company that supplies this kind of work, but because it's our in-house team, it's not getting passed from, say, me, the owner, to Jimmy, the guy underneath me, to Jimmy to pass it to somebody else. It's done by ourselves. So I think we're quite unique in that respect.
All right, that's great, and that's also a pretty big team. That's around 8 members if I counted right, 8 to 10 members.
10
All right,
members, yeah.
yeah, 10. Okay, so Vestinda, up to you.
Thank you
You
so
got the
much.
question
So
right.
definitely. So our core team comprises similarly of about 10 people. Our team is based across Romania, France, Ukraine, and I am from India. So also quite diverse across the European and Asian region. Our team, I think its biggest strength is how we really are striving to cover all aspects, and each of our individual strengths cater to the individual domains of the company that we're catering to. For example, our CTO is mathematical, extremely good at maths. She has a master's degree in AI and mathematics, which has served a lot of our algorithms very well. I have a very comprehensive background in communications, in business development, being in Web3 for over 4 years. So, having seen a lot of the different sides of how the market can go and what's the best way to communicate. Similarly, every team member, our one of our main technical analysts who also helps with algorithms is like a mini celebrity of himself. He's one of the most successful trading view top trending traders as well. So we've really developed a team understanding each person's strength and then reverse engineering that strength to cater to different parts of the team. So we're really excited to see how we grow in the months and years to come. We have a really great community in our Discord. We always incentivize our community members with every reward that we can. We'd also like from people who are listening today, if you we have dropped our Discord link below for anyone who joins in, we'd be happy to give away 2 lucky winners, like about $200 to $250 worth of resources of Vestindas, which we usually charge for on our website. So like I said, really excited, and our team is building some great things. Thank you.
Vestinda. All right, Vestinda, thank you. Last of Roburna. You got the question right.
I understood the question. So in terms of the team and the smart contracts, let's take the smart contracts first. We run with a structure of different companies. So we are actually 5 companies inside of our whole protocol. 3 of them are Roburna direct companies, and 2 of them are sister companies. Each company handles different areas and have their own team. So for the public team of Roburna, we are around 18 people in terms of content creators, social media managers, moderators, and everything, but they don't handle anything in regards to the development. So for the development, we have a company which already started 13 years ago, which was my first development agency. We have migrated and branded into becoming Roburna Labs, and here we are connected with a large reach of developers all across the world. So basically, we have a team, which I would say the core team are around 40 active members right now on the development side. Here we scale up and down a little bit, and we simply borrow out our developers to make paid work for companies when we do not need them. The total network of Roburna Labs is 6,000 developers. So whenever we do need, and which we needed in the earlier days when we were creating the blockchain and making our big D apps, then we needed a lot more people. And at these times, we scale up to above 100 developers active. And then we scale down again. In terms of the security and the smart contracts, then it is only me who actually have direct access to the smart contracts after they're deployed. Only when we're doing maintenance and when we are directly developing things, then the developers will have the direct access to the contracts. But whenever we go live with things, then we don't want the access to be spread out to developers. Even some of these developers have worked with me for over 10 years, then I do not want to have them have the fully access. So on the majority of things, we use a multi-sig structure where I do have the power to take control over this multi-sig, but I have spread my accesses over different continents. So I'm not sitting with the access of everything, which means that sometimes I have a few trusted developers that needs to approve transactions for my multi-sig. But if I did have to enforce the control myself, then I have enough multi-sigs under my own control, but I would have to travel a little bit to actually get the full accesses. So this is how we have decided to structure up. We also have Roburna Forests. Roburna Forest is a smaller team, so there's only 4 people connected to Roburna Forest. But yeah, that's our reforestation project, right? And now we just opened a new company here in South America. I think I mentioned that on our earlier call, which are going to handle more of the social medias and things like that, both for us and also for other companies and partners who wants our assistance. So yeah, in total, we are quite a big team, and we can easily scale up with in-house developers that's just currently sitting on task where they have been outsourced to other companies to stay active, because obviously with the full network that we have, we are not able to even supply work. You know, there's not a demand for them to sit actively all the time. At the current moment, how we are inside of the mainnet phases, then we are a bit more active developers. And I think as soon as these phases ends, then we will scale down to something like 5 to 8 developers that will be sitting active on our mainnet, depending on what new utilities that we decide to build on as we move forward. But a lot of our developers are rented out to partners that want to go live, and this is one of the big benefits that projects have if they do want to work with us, is that we can facilitate teams in all directions, both in terms of marketing, incorporation, in terms of development, or in terms of community management and social media managers. This is something that we can go in and assist projects with who needs it.
All right, all right. Thank you. So, John of RYI Unity.
Yeah, this is a great topic. That's why we kind of wanted to discuss it, because I feel like it's something that really doesn't get talked about too much. But yeah, it's so important. It's something the team really in regards to like the smart contracts. So just to touch on the smart contracts first. So we have our lead developer, and we're very fortunate to have our lead developer. He's been in the industry a really long time. He's a senior full stack developer. He's actually a blockchain instructor. He was for a long time. He used to teach at basically a developer school for Eat the Blocks. And he also is a contributor to a large auto company out of Europe. And we've been working with him for probably over about 2 years, so probably like 2.5 years. And he's our lead developer, and he basically manages the Unity Ventures platform, and he's the one that is able to create and innovate from scratch. And that's the biggest advantage that we really have have had is because being able to create applications from scratch and identify problems within the space is something we've been focusing on. That's why we created MDAS. Um, basically able to create staking suites in minutes on 5, 6 different chains right now, soon to be dozens of chains. But he has spearheaded that. He created that, and he's also basically the creator. Well, he is the creator of Unity Connect. But anyways, going to the smart contracts. So he basically has the access to those smart contracts, and then I serve as an admin on those smart contracts that basically help out if there's anything that needs to get done. Now, one of the biggest things for the smart contracts is the user funds on the smart contracts. And the way we've set up the smart contracts, especially for MDAS, because that's something that's going to be deployed to dozens of chains, is the actual staking rewards and the user funds that are on those applications. Nobody has access to those, and that's the way we wanted it. So that's the big thing that I feel like projects need to, or people need to ask questions like, who has access to user funds on your platforms? And the answer is nobody. And I think that's phenomenal because when people start creating all these staking pools and they're investing into these trending tokens on these staking pools on various chains, nobody's going to have access to those rewards. Nobody's going to have access to the staking allotment that the users are staking, and that's really the really cool security feature with MDAS. In regards to the uh, what was the second half? The team. So he's our lead developer. So the way we've kind of set it up is what I found early on was that it was too difficult to have one talented developer on multiple different things. And since we're a pretty widely developed ecosystem, we have our mobile apps, we have our Unity Ventures Dex platform that's pretty extensive in itself. DeFi wallet manager. We have MDAS, this innovative staking application. Now we're talking about Unity Connect coming on board. So what we did was we compartmentalized it. I learned really quick that I needed to keep the developers compartmentalized. So we have a RYI Pay developer, and his sole purpose in life is to focus on RYI Pay. And he's done a really good job as far as progressing that to be a competitive crypto wallet manager mobile app on iOS and Android. And then we have our integration specialist who's based out of Egypt. And he specializes, he's built basically essentially DeFi Dash with the help of our lead developer, but that he helps with all the integrations. We have the fiat on and off ramp from Transec, our close partner. We were really fortunate to partner with them really early on because that's a huge capability you can have on your platform. And then, so we have our 3 primary developers, and they work essentially full time, and they specialize and stay within the kind of their lane of development, and that basically helps us streamline contributors to our ecosystem. So we're very fortunate to be on more of the development heavy side. And I think that's, like I said, I think that's important to know. I serve essentially as a project manager. Uh, Technically, I'm a founder, but I kind of look at myself as a project manager because I work primarily with the developers. And then you see Dennis on here, and he focuses on the partnerships, a lot of the social media aspects. We use, I've over the last 6 months, we've really ventured into the AI support applications because I feel like that's going to be the next wave of expediting and streamlining processes. So that's something that I don't talk about much. Just because we're so busy with so many other things, but that's something that we've really dived into because we're kind of taking the approach of innovation, solving problems with MDAS, Uni Connect, our DeFi wallet manager, all these things and identifying problems, and we see AI kind of moving into this market, and so we really took a deep dive into these AI applications, algorithms, and everything, and working on integrating those into our ecosystem because I think what we're going to see is we're going to see the as far as the building aspect of Web3, and you're going to see a lot of integration with AI. There's a lot of AI projects out there, but I think being able to utilize it, understanding it, and have developers that understand how to integrate AI into your applications is really going to progress and keep you competitive. So that's really kind of like where we're at. And I love this topic because I feel like it's so important. And I learned so much from other projects, when I hear kind of how they operate their teams.
All right. Thank you, John. Okay. Anyone with questions before we give the speakers last chance to just drop one or two things about their projects before we call it a day? Anyone with questions? All right. So 2 minutes each for each speaker to just say something that they want the listeners to hear before we wrap it up. Starting with Mineable. Starting with Mineable. So 2 minutes for you. 2 minutes. I'll be counting.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so really interesting what everybody said. Appreciate what you've been saying. For us, it's very exciting times for us indeed. We're gaining more partnerships, and moving forward, we've got Probit doing an airdrop for a competition for mineable tokens. I've got so much in the pipeline that I wish I could tell you everything, but obviously out of that pipeline, let's say if we get 20% of what we're thinking about doing, it's awesome. Just a brief one, the mineable comes under the umbrella of Miniac. The company is registered with Miniac Limited, so that gives us a platform to create other similar things to mineable, which, as I say, we are working on immensely now at the moment to create another token, to form partnerships, to mine tokens for other partners using our current platform. So that's really interesting. That's not far away now. And we want to start mining other currencies. We're going to start off with Ethereum. Our virtual miners will have a pool of Ethereum put up to one side, and miners can then start mining Ethereum. That's another thing that's very close. So again, we're all here. We all could promote. We all could talk. We all could go on forever. But it's very exciting times for us at Mineable. I'm proud of all the team. I'm proud of all the efforts that we do. And let's just move forward. And thanks for having me, by the way.
All right. So Vestinda next. Last notes before we wrap it up. 2 minutes.
Definitely. Thank you so much. So, just a few pointers for the upcoming bull market. I think all market circumstances in crypto are very important to have tools that can help you. And at Vestenda, the core of our overall mission has been understanding that up until this point, investing in trading has not been a level playing field. What that means is we understand that there are hedge funds, big institutions that control a lot more than is in the capability of the average retail trader. And that's why a lot of our toolkits, even a lot of our free toolkits, because we start with the free package. So for someone to join the Vestinda family today, everyone listening can go and sign up for our free beginner course. I mean, our free package. And by doing that, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for a lot of things that are to come in the future market circumstances, whether bullish or bearish. You can learn a lot via a lot of our tools. You can study and analyze the markets a lot. You can validate, backtest, and then you can have a sort of all-in-one experience. Up until now, for users to do that, they have to go to 10 different places to have a seamless trading experience and a lot of knowledge with that. We bring all that together with a lot of elite level knowledge, which up until now was only there for hedge funds and the top 1% of traders. So alongside that, we have a lot of other learnings, a lot of other exciting things to come. Weekly incentives, we give away everything from USDT to resources on a regular basis. So I'd love to see as many of the listeners as are over here part of the Vestinda family, whether it's in our Discord community that I've dropped the link to below, or whether it's part of any element of our ecosystem. And it's been a pleasure being on here with you guys today. I think every speaker, every project brought a lot of value to this AMA, and I'd really appreciate all you guys keeping in touch. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Vestinda. Moving to last, yes. So last, any final notes before we move to John and we wrap it up for today?
So from my end, I would say, come take a look. If you're interested in DeFi in general, we are trying to be inclusive for everybody, no matter if you are low, mid, or high level knowledge in the DeFi market. Come join our community. We are doing a lot of educational purpose videos and content for people to learn how the industry works and everything. We don't want to force people to invest to come in and be part of our family. We simply just want you to come along and be part of our community and gain knowledge. What we do is mainly to gain knowledge. And for the more experienced people who are already trading in the DeFi space, I can tell you there's coming over 100 very, very interesting projects to invest into early or to a later stage. A lot of these are going to be multi-chain projects. So they will not only come live on Roburna, but through our channel, you'll be able to find very, very interesting projects. Again, we don't force anybody to actually invest directly. Obviously, if you want to invest, then we are always welcome for that as well. But we are more into the educational part, and a lot of our partners are as well. So yeah, if you do, if you're interested in DeFi, if you're interested in the space, if you're interested in blockchain, join our community. Listen what we are doing. We are doing weekly content for the community, and we are always close bi-weekly. We have a community AMA where you can ask any questions, and there's no such thing as stupid questions in our community. We answer absolutely everything for people who want to just gain knowledge about the industry. And we will actually soon be starting up educational channels and communities in Spanish as well for those who are not comfortable English speakers. Then we'll also be starting everything that we have been doing for the past almost 3 years. We have hundreds of hours uploaded on our YouTube. That will be replicated into Spanish, where we'll start with a lot of education with some special selected partners. So that was it for me. Come join our community and follow along.
All right, so John, you're up next.
Yeah, for us, the probably the first thing to do is just simply go to our homepage. We spend quite a bit of time on our homepage. We're updating it daily, and that's RYI-unity.com. Just a ton of information on there, so you can really see how to utilize all of our DeFi applications. We just listed on CoinN, which is a new and upcoming centralized exchange. They are regulated, audited, which was kind of a big important factor for us. And then the other thing too is we do have staking going on, token staking and liquidity staking as well. And we also have so yesterday we did our first live on X. We're going to be doing those either weekly or weekly, depending on time. But if you guys see us on live on X, that's really when we get in the weeds about all of our applications updates constantly with our applications and how users can benefit from them, whether that's DeFi Unity Ventures, RYI Pay, MDAS. And then obviously, most of our community is waiting on Unity Connect. They want to see, what this looks like. What they want to see, what it looks like to see dozens of EVM chains and our applications, our DeFi applications push onto these chains. And so that's something we've been working on, and we constantly are providing updates within the Telegram chat. But like I said, keep an eye out for those X Live updates. Yeah, it's going to be a great week. And I think, it's a really exciting time for the market right now and just in general. And thanks for coming on, guys. I always learn a ton when I listen to you guys and what you're doing. We love to have legitimate projects on here that are building for the future. So thanks, guys.
Yeah, so thanks a lot, guys. Final notes: if you've not used our wallet before, you can go to Google Play Store or the iOS Store. Search RYI RIP wallet is free for use. Also, we have another AMA coming up on the 21st, which is on Friday, and we also have a buy contest going on in our community, and our charts are really heating up. So if you'd like to join, you go through our link from our Twitter, yeah, and you join. It's that easy. So enjoy the rest of the day, guys. Thank you always for your time. Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you, guys.
everybody.
Bye.
Thanks, guys.